Well, it helps to turn your mic on. But appreciate everybody out there uh, watching the stream this evening. It's going to be a quick one as we pivot to the college football show. Not a whole bunch going on in Steelers Nation. Some people think some things are a big deal, but this is something that we have rolling. Just want to make sure all my all my stuff is working properly. But with that being said, hit that like and subscribe button. Now that I have my mic on, so we'll get right into it. The other side of the coin here. This is a uh, Joe Burrow, Dan Orlowski's comments on Joe Burrow right now. There's no one better in the league right now throwing the football. Um, when it comes down to that, I can't can't really say I disagree, except probably Matthew Stafford is probably somebody that I would put in there. But as far as age wise going forward, if I was going to build my franchise, I would uh, I would 100% want um, Joe Burrow leading the way on that. I get it. Joe Burrow plays for the Bengals. He's in the division. Not a lot of people are real thrilled the Bengals finally got themselves one, but in typical Bengals fashion, the last time they had a first overall pick, they ended up botching it. Carson Palmer ended up leaving Cincinnati, so um, it's going to be interesting to see how the Burrow stuff plays out throughout his career. I'm not saying it's all rainbows, butterflies, and uh, peaches and cream right now, but that's just something that's on the docket there in also the Chicago Bears. Um, this guy from ESPN says, I think the Bears will see their first 4,000 yard passer. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say the Bears probably will see a 4,000 yard passer, but I don't think it'll be Caleb Williams, to be honest with you. Um, that's just what it is. I don't see a way out of how Ben Johnson completely remodels the team. With that being said, I think that there's some, I wouldn't say animosity, but I would say that it's going to be tough. The Bears just re-up Ryan Poles, gave him an extension, so apparently they're happy with what they see. Um, that is with all things leading forward. I can't imagine what that is, but I will go over the headlines really quick that are on the ESPN.com. Shador Sanders oblique unlikely to play Saturday, so that really busts the bubble of some of the Browns folks. Um, the people of Cleveland. That's just that is what it is. Um, Cowboys Jerry Jones battled stage 4 cancer for the better part of 10 years. Jones, in a statement today, an experimental drug saved my life. Maybe that is the key. I did not know that Jerry was sick. That would explain on why he looked so bad for all those years. Not trying to pour on Jerry there, but I mean, he was the major face of a NFL franchise for the better part of 10 years while battling cancer. Kudos to Jerry for getting through it. I know a lot of people aren't big fans of the Cowboys, but um, that's that. Also, the Falcons, Michael Penix involved in a fight versus the Titans in the joint practice. Haven't seen the video, don't know if there's video of it, but it'll probably surface in the next couple of days. Um, Speaking of interesting things, Lamar Jackson pulls challenge of the Aikman number 8 trademark. I think somebody probably in a cooler headspace probably said, hey, this probably isn't a good idea. You know, Troy Aikman, multiple Super Bowl winning quarterback, you're trying to sue him over a number that is synonymous with Troy Aikman that he's wore longer than you. So I don't know. I don't get the Lamar thing. I get it. These guys have brands now, but going after Dale Earnhardt Jr. and going after Lamar Troy Aikman is just whatever. Like, what are you doing? I think kids nowadays don't even know who Troy Aikman is, or if that he even played for the Cowboys way back when. That's just some of the things that happen with not as far as growing the game. Ex-Broncos receiver Taylor passes away at 89. That is something that the Broncos put a tweet out honoring him. Played back in the 60s for the Denver Broncos. So shout out to that guy. Played in the newly formed AFL. He was the first receiver, I believe, in AFL or NFL history to have 100 receptions in a season, and that is like that is impressive. That is I would say like an 8 to 10 game schedule. The guy ended up with 100 catches. Bills Cook gets a 4-year, $48 million deal after a hold-in. You're going to see that, I think, more and more with the hold-in instead of hold-outs. I think that it's tough negotiating contracts to begin with, and then you have the company and the union kind of clashing on some of this stuff. As somebody that is part of a union, I totally understand how that goes in contract disputes. But the running backs, I think that the NFL is just like a big pendulum. I think that at a certain point, you're going to have teams that will have their running backs getting paid, getting utilized more. I get it. It's a passing league. Everything is set up for the offense to throw the ball. The NFL wants points, no hard hitting. But with the emergence of how valuable guys like Saquon Barkley are, I mean, the New York Giants know that firsthand. You can't argue that. The New York Giants are one of the guinea pigs for letting a top flight running back leave. You see what happens. He was kind of a missing piece in Philadelphia, and Saquon Barkley is one of the main contributors that got the Eagles to the Super Bowl. I mean, outside of having a great offensive line, great defensive line, the Eagles, not that I'm making this a pump up the Eagles segment, but I remember there was a time, I think it was like week 5 when Sirianni was talking a whole bunch of mess to the Eagles fans about them wanting him fired. So he goes out, proves them wrong, and pretty much for the most part shuts up the critics. But here we go. Lamar Jackson's touchdown totals for the last 4 years, or the last 5 regular seasons. He only played 12 games in 2022. 20 touchdowns, 21, 18. In 2020 had 33. Last year had 45 touchdowns. It'll be interesting to see if Lamar slows down at all, or if any. I think it's very interesting from a namesake point that Lamar is to this point in his career that this is where we're at. Multiple MVP winner. We'll have to see if Baltimore and Lamar Jackson can get over the proverbial hump. I know there is some stirring about John Harbaugh out there in Baltimore, but I don't take the Harbaugh whispers seriously. He's the second longest tenured coach in the NFL for the most part. So that is something to be said there. If I'm Baltimore, you're winning the division, you're getting to the playoffs, you're winning playoff games, you have those guys out in Kansas City standing in your way, and you got to go through them and Cincinnati to do that. So that's just something to keep an eyeball on going forward as far as for what the Ravens have and what they have going. Rookie quarterbacks. Here's the debuts. Shedeur Sanders and Jackson Dart leading the way. I believe they played the most snaps. Tyler Shook played a bunch of snaps as well, but Jalen Milroe, I don't know how that is going to pan out in Seattle with the Sam Darnold thing, how they're going to have a extra package for him or what they have going on. So there's going to be something interesting to be said about. I would say Shedeur overwhelmingly had the best rookie debut, maybe Tyler Shook, but I think it'll be interesting going forward, trying to track all those guys' careers. It sounds like Shedeur is not going to play this week, so that's something there. I was going to try to see if they had a update for Will Howard, if they updated the injury thing. I think the last time I checked, ESPN.com had him returning. They had him returning, I think September 9th. The injury report. And Jonnu Smith questionable, Calvin Austin questionable, Will Howard expected return date August 21st. So I would say Will Howard is probably not going to play this week if I was a betting man. So there is that. But also Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports, Cam Hayward no closer to making sense, but I'll get his dollars. Cam Hayward on the proverbial hold-in thing. It's just something that I think NFL teams are really dealing with right now because of the cap numbers and longevity, long-term deals, but that's just kind of where we're at on that. Programming update. The college football show is coming up next. I just got sidetracked and got behind today. That's why Steel City's coming at you at 8 o'clock. But as far as that goes, programming update, I think we are going to do a watch party for the preseason game. My boy Richie's going to be joining. He is a Bucks fan, and we're just going to be talking football and shooting the breeze at 7. I think the game kicks at 7. We're going to start the stream probably about 10 minutes before to do a little pregame thing, and that's about it. So just throwing that out there. Interested to see who you folks want to see in the preseason. Who do you want to see more of? I don't think we'll see Aaron Rodgers. Maybe a series, maybe not, but we'll have to see how that is going to shake out. But this has been a quick one for today. The college football show coming up next, probably in about 5 to 10 minutes after this goes off air. We will get that rolling. But with that being said, drop in the comments, who do you think, which Steeler will have the biggest breakout year? And hit that like and subscribe button. Help us grow this entire channel. It means a lot to me. We picked up a few subscribers. I appreciate everybody subscribing. So with that being said, everybody will be back tomorrow, hopefully on time in a better fashion. But with that being said, everybody have a good night.